Oh, come on. Stupid thing. Oh, am I live? How do I know if anybody else is watching? I think it says one person. I don't know. Let's see. I've never done this before, so I don't even know if it's working. I bought some, or I didn't buy some. I downloaded some a software program that's supposed to do it on my computer. I couldn't figure it out yet. I'll work on it. If anybody's there, let me know if you're there. I don't know. Anyway, just thought I'd try this. Everybody on YouTube's going live and answering questions, but I don't even know. Somebody just asked me a question. See if I don't even know if anybody's here or not. Probably just me. I got 2 thumbs up, so it must be somebody. It says there's 4 people here, but I don't see any comments. Maybe it's this phone. Well, this is the first time. I thought maybe on Monday nights in the future, if there'd be more people show up, I would, do live. And when I get back into doing some interviews, it might even be nice to do live interviews with some of the guys from around here. I don't know if it'd work. Hey, hi, Paul. So there is somebody here, and the messages pop up on the phone. That's pretty cool. I've seen other channels do this, but man, I learned all this on my own. When I'm 56 years old, sometimes it's hard for me to learn. What do they say? It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But anyway, somebody asked me some questions. Let me know. Well, there you go. Hey Mel, how are you? 540. That's pretty cool. I downloaded that program. It's called OBS, something like that. And I'm supposed to be able to use it with my computer and one of my better cameras. Now I'm just using my phone, and I guess it works all right. Oh, good, Carson. I'm glad you are. The other ones are doing good too. The ones I got, I get them out just about every evening, and in the mornings. Hey, passion for hunting and fishing. How are you? Hey, this is neat. Anyway, I was thinking that maybe, if I get the interview, some of the local guys or some guys, get together and be able to do these interviews, and then, guys can ask questions about how they do it and what else going good. Well, that's good. Passion for hunting. Where are you at? Anyway, can talk to them and ask them questions and some things, trying to get as much support for the hound dogging community and the hunting community as we can. Oh, good. Canada. Wow. I got a little blog where and really what I use it for, I just use it to share my videos. Every now and then I'll write something on it. It's on Blogger. I think it's Born 100 Years Too Late or CBV TV. I'm not even sure. I just share my videos to it. Anyway, I get like 35 or 40 hits a month, or no, it's like every 48 hours from Canada, of all places. Or not Canada, excuse me, Russia, of all places. I'm sure they can't even understand what I'm saying, but anyway, let's see, there's 10 people here. Did you guys see the notification that said that I was going to try to go live tonight? Did you guys see that? Give me a thumbs up or something. Because I almost did that by accident. I was messing around with the software and it said make a notification, and I didn't even know I hit it. And then my sister's down from, oh, cool. Well, my sister's down from Nevada, and she was in there on her phone. She said, hey, I got a notification saying you're going to go live. I said, wow, I don't, and I kind of makes me a little nervous. I've never done this before. I mean, I made the live videos just where I was explaining what I was doing, but not just sitting in here doing it, holding my phone. Cool. A lot of the times, if you're subscribed and you don't have that, and you don't hit that little bell for notifications, then it won't even, hey, Trapper Man. Oh, oh, you're talking to somebody else. Uh, if you don't hit that little bell for notifications, then you don't get notifications. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'd like to get as many people, uh, I mean, involved in it. You know, I've got one more video of Tom White and Don Milton, the last one that I need to put together. And to be totally honest with you, I have sat down. What I did when I interviewed them, and it was the first time I'd ever done it. I bought that Zoom H4 audio recorder, and then I used two different cameras to get different angles, and I mic'd them up. I mic'd them up with remote mics and recorded different channels or each one to the Zoom H4, and then I had two different. No, I get all your other video. Oh wow, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, I love to hunt, and you have when you go through to edit them, you have to. Oh, one of these days I might have one for sale. I'll let you know, Trapper Man. And when I mic'd them up, I recorded it all separate. So then when you get to your computer and you go to edit it and you download it all, well, you've got a Don Milton channel that has his voice. I had a Tom White channel that his voice with his audio or his voice, and then I have two different camera angles. And so the first two that I edited took me forever, and I had a really, really hard time editing it. And I finally got it together. And this third one, I have just had a heck of a time because I get confused about which audio I've used on the first one or the second one, and I don't, you know, I want to make sure I do a good job. And here lately, I just haven't had a whole lot of time to just sit down and really, I need to have like 2 days to sit down and work on it. Oh wow, but at least you got a notification, Trapper Man. That's good. But anyway, you know, and I just got to take the time to sit down and work on it, you know, and get it. Passion for honey. I just subscribe and smash. There you go. Smash that bell right there, that notification bell. But no, I got to do that. I've got to do. I tell you what, and then also I've got Dennis Carson and Charlie Settles, and I drove over to Tucson and I interviewed Dennis. He spent time down in Mexico hunting with Dale Lee, and he was a young man at that time, and he was kind of a camp boy and everything. And then I went and seen Charlie Settles, and Charlie Settles hunted with Dale. Well, Charlie Settles went to South America before Dale even got down there and caught a jaguar. Charlie is a unique individual himself. He's hunted all over the place. He's hunted, you know, lions, bears, bobcats, jaguars. He moved to Canada, and he lived in Canada for like 4 or 5 years and trapped for a living. And he was 80, 84, 85 years old when I went over there to talk to him. Just lived in a little old log cabin out there in Tennessee. Just a unique individual and real interesting man. And I spent a lot of time talking to him, and I videoed it and got it all done and drove home. But there's a man in Idaho, to complete the story, there's a man in Idaho I've got to go see and I've got to go talk to, and he was down there in Mexico with them. And there's a real unique story about, you know, their camp and what happened, the cook, and I need to get his version of it, and I just haven't had the means or the time to get up there and talk to him. And as soon as I do, then I'll put all those out together. I've been through 3 moves in the last, well, year, 2 years, so I don't mean to make excuses. I even got a subscriber, I think it's Carson's son, said excuses, and I think he's talking about me. But it's just one of those things. I just haven't had time. I had a computer go down. I moved. I sold my place in the mountains. I sold my place in Caballo. I moved out of the little house we had there in town. I moved my wife out so we could live together a little bit, and it's been tough. But getting back into it. Okay, Paul. I do too. And really, I mean, I always made videos before. I screwed around with making videos like hunting with JR and that FM Galvan. You know, I went down. I just happened upon him, and I ended up, you know, I didn't really interview him. I didn't get him on camera, but I got to talk to him, and I got to take all his, you know, copy all his pictures or some of his pictures. He had lost an album. He had had somebody take one of his albums, and then I just kind of, you know, did the talk about him, and you know, one of the reasons I wanted to do the interviews is Bruce Kennedy. He lived over in Tucson, and he went and he interviewed a lot of these guys, you know, like Warner Glenn, and he even interviewed what's the guy there in Ely, Nevada, or he what other channel, Passion for Hunting, are you having a hard time subscribing to? Wiley Carroll. Oh, Bruce, he interviewed Wiley Carroll. He interviewed Daryl Fry. He interviewed a lot of these guys, a lot of these good lion hunters. And I was really fascinated with you know, he had a good camera, but it was kind of a simple interview, but a lot of good information. And I went over to Tucson. Well, I was working in Tucson at one time, and I went over there and talked to Bruce. I sat in his house and talked to him and everything. And those tapes were really good. Say, okay, pretty good response for your first go. I lost the message. Where'd it go? Dang it. How do you do that? There it is. Pretty good response for your first go. Say, do you find that the sand dries out your horse and mule's hoofs when it gets this hot? 2 of my mules get bad cracks in this heat. Yes, it sure does. You know, it'll dry them out, and I've always heard it. I've been roping a little bit again. I used to rope a lot, and I, you know, I mean, I was real competitive. I mean, and I won a lot, and here lately I've been roping because I watched all these guys win a bunch of money at these World Series ropings. I thought, well, I'll get back into it. And I brought an older horse over here, and I'm standing up in my sand. And another thing that I know you have to worry about is this hot sand can sure founder a horse also. And I've never experienced myself, but my dad's an old time horseman. I mean, he's had horses and competed on horses. One time we had like 40 head of brood mares when I was a kid, and that's what he tells me I have to watch out for is, you know, watch that horse, make sure he doesn't, you know, that hot sand, I guess. And then it dries out their feet, and then you, like on my mules, you know, their feet crack and everything. I haven't got shoes on them right now, and then most of the places I've been riding just been sandy and you know, back up these arroyos and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what you can do about it. It's all I got is this hot sand, so they just kind of got to suffer through it, I guess. Pretty good response. Okay, Mel arrived that DVD set. Very interesting. Yeah, it don't go away. Oh no, I didn't mean to delete that. Man, I'm such a rookie at this. I'm learning though. I pressed something a minute ago and all the messages came up. Well, I lost the messages again. That would have been a very cool story, yeah. But anyway, so I need to go up there and see that guy up in Idaho, and then Carson has some guys that he said that I should go by and talk to, and you know, we got some guys around here that, you know, well, for instance, here's a good story about hound dogs. Henry McIntyre down in Texas, you know, one of the best well-known dry ground lion hunters there was. You know that, you know, his saying is, I live to hunt and I hunt to live. And heck of a houndsman, heck of a lion hunter. And when I was a kid, I got to go down there and see Henry. And I say a kid, this was in the early 80s. I went down and seen him. Yeah, Wiley Carroll. That's who Bruce Kennedy has him on tape. He's real old though at that time. Even when he was interviewing him, he's really kind of hard to understand. But anyway, I went down there, and Henry McIntyre had a hound dog named Newt. And everybody said the same thing about Newt. You know, you just take him into lion country and turn him loose, he's going to go find you a lion. And I think Henry had like over 300 lions that he caught with Newt or thereabout somewhere. Anyway, I went over to this hunting rendezvous, dry ground hunters rendezvous, whatever you call it, over in Arizona. And this was last year I was there, and Steve Smith was there, and I had called Steve Smith. Steve Smith is a well-known lion hunter, dry ground lion hunter, has a ranch down there by Globe or somewhere like that, and he's caught a lot of lions. Heck of a guy, and raises really, really good hound dogs. And I was talking to Steve Smith, and I said, well, I have a dog that was out of one of Steve Smith's dogs, and I said, well, I guess everybody's always looking for a hound like that Newt dog. And Steve, he said, I said that Newt dog that Henry had. And Steve said, well, I'm the one who sold Newt to Henry. And I said, well, I'll be dang, what a small world. And then this last, or not, that was last year. And then there's another guy there that I was talking to, a real quiet guy, real nice guy. And we're sitting there talking, and I mentioned that Steve Smith sold Newt to Henry, and he said, well, I'm the one who sold traded Newt to Steve Smith, because they trade dogs together. And this guy, they say that this guy's a heck of a lion hunter. He's cut a lot of lions in the dirt. He got to hunt the San Carlos Indian Reservation and probably the White Mountain, and I want to go over. He invited me. He has a ranch over by Silver City here in New Mexico, so I'm going to try to go over and hunt with him at some time. Maybe I can sit down and look at some of his pictures, maybe copy them and get to talk to him. Maybe he's kind of bashful or not. I don't know if he's bashful. He's a quiet, does his own thing, and a lot of these guys they just don't want to be interviewed. They don't care, but try to talk them into it, do the best I can. Anyway, is everybody still there? It says there's 11 people here. That's pretty good. 4 thumbs up. Anyway, I'm in New Mexico, Trapper Man, southern New Mexico. I was up in the mountains in Gila I lived up there for 2.5 years, off grid, and then the fires came and I had to move out, and I bought some more land in Caballo and tried to get back up there, never could get settled again back up there, and decided to sell my place in Caballo, and I sold it, and I kept the place in the mountains. I was on the highway all the time. I'm looking for a jack. I'm up here on Albuquerque, New Mexico. Got a 4-year-old mare. Oh, there it is. New Mexico. I got a 4-year-old mare. You got any suggestions? Raul, John Kitzler, he has a big old jack, I think, or at least he knows where you could get a big mammoth jack that you could breed a mare to. I'm gonna have to get that other side. I'm gonna have to figure out that other software, because the messages pop up, but then they don't stay long, and I try to get them to stay before I can read through them, and I just can't read that fast, I guess. But yeah, John, get a hold of John. He's on Facebook. I call it Facebook, and he's also on Big Game Houndsman under Hagerman. Hagerman is what he goes by on there. How far is that from Wyoming? Woo, that's a long ways from Wyoming. I don't know how far, but long ways. Does the picture look okay? I mean, I got a big old bright light on here because this is a dark room, and I got a big old LED light that that we use in the shop. I just brought it in here and turn it on so there's enough light where it looks decent. These iPhones, I'm using just my iPhone. And these iPhones, they have a super camera on them, but you got to have a lot of light. Anyway, but that's the plans. There's another guy that... Can I ask you something? Yeah. Narrow picture. Does that... Whoop. It says orientation is locked and that I can't turn it. CK, today the temperature is probably up about 102 degrees. About 62 in the morning. You should switch your phone sideways to have a better view of your video. I know, but when I do, watch, I'll show you. And then it says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I don't know. I thought I unlocked it. When you go into settings, you can unlock the orientation. I thought I unlocked it, but it's not letting me do it. I don't know. But anyway, where was I at? You should click on the chat too if you want to see the chat or the message on the chat. Let me see. Share, mute microphone, cancel. I push the chat button. Show, I got it where it says show. Huh. You need to change that in the setting of YouTube. Probably, that's what I need to do. It's probably in the orientation for the setting on YouTube. I'll get better at it. A lot of this stuff, I mentioned it to my wife. I said, you know what? I see these live things because I don't watch regular television. I haven't watched regular television in probably 3 years now, I guess. And even before that, I haven't watched like NBC, ABC, and CBS in over 20 years. So I watch a lot of YouTube, and I seen a lot of guys go live. And I told my wife, I said, I'm thinking about doing that. And she really encourages me. I mean, she encourages me for all this stuff. She encourages me to make videos and to, do all these things. And I kind of struggle. Sometimes you wonder whether, you really should be putting yourself out there, or you doing it, because especially the way I hunt is not the most successful way to hunt. You ain't missing much. No kidding, Desert Tramp. I know. I every now, we'll go out of town or something, stay in a motel room, and I'll turn on the TV and I'll look, and I can't believe the things that are on. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want to get into all those politics and everything. Let's just talk about hunting. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Sometimes you can have that. It's about 80-ish up here in Washington. I know. I just get so irritated. And I mean, I'm a red-headed, fair-skinned guy. And when it gets cold, it doesn't bother me at all. Shoot, we've packed across the wilderness, in the wintertime up here, over 7,000 feet elevation. In the mornings getting down to, 10 degrees, 7 degrees. And man, I'm comfortable. It doesn't bother me, but man, this heat just shuts me down. And the dogs, I feel sorry for them. I try to get them out at least 3 or 4 times a week in the mornings. I got 1,000 acres back up here behind my place that's just open, and a lot of country, just desert country, greasewood and mesquites and rocks and sand and rattlesnakes. And there's a lion passes through there from time to time, and I go up there and I get the dogs out and, try to have them back by 9:30 or so. Wow, 113. Yeah, that's too hot, too hot. Oh, thank you. It's a thought about moving to your state, but the heat down there changed my mind. Mel, there's other places in the state that are a lot cooler. Silver City's a little bit better, but over, Rio Doso area and Cloudcroft area, it's, that's a lot cooler, or northern New Mexico. You get up by Raton or Las Vegas or above Santa Fe there, that's a lot cooler. I just happen to be in the Southwest here, and I mean, there's a lot of good things, come September, October, lighting and sound are great. Oh, thank you, Carson. This is the first time I've ever done it, really, so I didn't know how it would work. But anyway, comes, probably September through March, maybe into April, it's pretty decent weather. You still, any time during the year, you can get up to 80 degrees in the wintertime, after afternoon or whatever. But, and I mean, even up in the mountains where by my camp is what I'm talking about, or my old camp. And down here in the desert, you get out, you can be out, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and hunt until 10:30, 11 o'clock, from September to October or whatever. And then you'll be able to stay out a little bit longer. It'll stay cooler longer. So it's not that bad. I mean, there's some good things. Trailing conditions are tough. Conditions are, it's just a tough place. I've had some guys kind of criticize sometimes. I do a lot of trailing. I don't do a lot of catching, but, it would be different if I knew another guy. If there was another guy down the road here several miles hunting the same country as catching lions. I mean, if he's down there catching lions and I'm not, man, I'm going to go find out where he got his dogs or what he's doing to make it happen. But there's nobody. There's only a couple guys I know that ever caught a lion in this country. I'm sure there's been more over the years, but in the recent past, I guess. But this year, I got some videos coming out. I modified my trailer where I'm going to be more mobile. I'm going to go to a lot more areas. I'm going to try to video as much of it as I can and share as much of it as I can. And yeah, and I'm in a better position. One of the things that I did when I sold my place in the mountains is I bought this land closer to Las Cruces, and it kind of put me in debt, and I hate to be in debt. And so when I sold that place up in the mountains, it allowed me to pay this off. So, you know, with it paid off, I'm not struggling as much to try to make a living. I got a little business I run. You know, if I could stay hooked, I could get all my work done in my business in probably about a day. But I get to wonder, my mind wanders, and I have a hard time focusing on what I'm supposed to do. But my business is just me and one guy. I do the design work, and he goes and does the installations. So if I sit in front of the computer and do my installations, let's see, we can make your picture bigger, but then we can't chat. Only read other comments. Ooh. Make your picture bigger, but then we can't chat. Only read other comments. You're a blessed man to have a good woman. Man, you're not kidding. And she supports me, you know, 100% with what I do. And matter of fact, she'll tell me sometimes. If I haven't been getting out or I haven't had time to get out, I start getting a little grumpy. Super for those who live in their adventures through you. Thank you, Desert Tramp. And that's, you know, I've had a lot of, back when we had private messages and everything, I had a lot of messages, guys tell me, hey, you know, we really enjoy watching your videos and seeing the countryside. A lot of people don't get to see desert like this, you know, and then, you know, getting to kind of live through you, I guess, or see, you know, I imagine if you don't get to, how do I put it? If you don't get to experience this, what I do, then you can kind of watch, and I try to, you know, make it understandable, I guess. Anyway, but that woman of mine should be home any minute. You'll probably see her. Any more questions? Well, you guys you know, when I make the video, I'm going to try to get the second part of the Red video, hunting with Red. I'm going to try to get out by tomorrow morning. And most of that part is just us sitting by the campfire and talking. Red's real interesting to listen to. He's got a lot of opinions, and he's a neat guy, you know, and I enjoyed hunting with him. And I got in some more throwback Thursdays. I'm going to put those up best I can. I've been going through them and trying to get that all cleaned up and make it presentable where, you know. And then I'm videoed modifying the trailer, what we did to it. I got to edit that. I videoed us building the kennels. I did a lot of work with the Graz, or I shouldn't say the name. I did a lot of work with the training sense and messing around with the young dogs, and then also experimenting with the other dogs. Oh, cool. Josh, how are you doing? Josh is a friend of mine. He just commented. He comes down. He hunted with me last year, and he's going to come down and hunt with me this year. We're going to try to get a bear, and then we're going to go some different places, and hopefully he's going to have enough time. We're going to be able to put the miles on, so that'd be good. Looking forward to it, Josh. But what was I? And then I did a lot of work with the training sense and messing with the older dogs and the younger dogs. That's a great part of hunting, sitting around the fire in the evening. You know, it is, especially when you have somebody really interesting to talk to, and you can just sit there and of course, Red has no shortage of words. I mean, he can talk, and he's got opinions about everything. So, but he was fun. I love to listen to him. So there ain't no telling how long that is. I'm gonna try to leave it as unedited as possible. I mean, we cook on the fire and we talk and discuss all kinds of things. So hopefully I'll have that out tomorrow. What else? I did some other video. I've got some other videos that I did, building the kennels, the dogs. I did a lot of stuff on the dogs. I did stuff on gear, I did some videos on the gear that I use and what, but every time I make one of those, I try to edit it. It doesn't come out good. It looks awful. And I watch the video and I think, man, why did I say that? Or why didn't I why didn't I talk about this? Or I left that out or whatever. So I got to get a little better at that. And I got some plans on some gear that I'm trying to put together for a little more extended stays in the wilderness just on one mule instead of having to take a pack mule, and see how that works. Those backpackers, they're crazy. They do it all the time, and they're just carrying it on their back. Guy ought to be able to just go in on one mule, stay gone for 3 or 4 days, and not have to worry about taking a pack animal. Anyway, it's been a long video. Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate all you guys that came in and watched the video and commented. And I look, hopefully you'll look forward to the other videos and comment on those and hit that like button and stuff. I'm going to try to keep doing it and try to get enough support when I go do the interviews, that we can make something happen with that. I just know one of these days Purina Dog Chow or somebody's going to call me and want to sponsor me. So, so we'll see how that works out. Anyway, thank you. Keep watching. I'll try to get something more interesting in. I got a throwback video, and I might not leave it up very long. It's a video of us, me hunting on the Armendariz Ranch. I got to hunt on the Armendariz Ranch, Ted Turner's ranch over here, and yeah, they used to call me when they'd have a kill or they'd have a lion track or something, and I don't know, they've got some politics involved in that now, and I got a little video that I'll put up of the hunt and everything, and then of us catching a lion, but I don't know. I'm not sure I'll put it up yet. I might put it up Thursday. I'll see. But as you can see by a lot of the country I hunt, you catch a lion, there's not a tree for them to climb on. So the video, YouTube's really funny about some of this stuff. You got to be careful what you put up. And my channel's not monetized. I don't get any advertisement. There might be advertisement somebody else runs on it because I've used copyrighted music, but I don't run any advertisements or anything on the channel. I will one of these days, but I'm not doing it now. So I don't want to ruin my opportunity to monetize it if I can. Thank you. Looking forward to getting back out there hunting with you. Perfect, Josh. I am too. We'll have a good year. Probably be around October, I would think would be the best. So we're into September, 1st of October. So, all right, guys, thank you. We'll see you later. And like I said, thanks for all the support. Now, how do I shut this thing down? Right there.